Hi, how are you? This is Sung, and I'm the principal and director of Sky Academy. And let me just quickly go through with you the quadratic formula that we've been considering in the last couple of videos. X squared is equal to minus b plus minus b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Remember, that's something that you've got to commit to memory. And let's break this down and have a look at what this formula actually means, right? Yes, it gives us the value of x, but what is the value of x actually represent, all right? So what's going on here is any quadratic equation will be a parabola, and by parabola what I mean is it's going to be a curve that looks like that, either concave up or looks like that, which is concave down. Okay, so let's consider each component of this and see what's going on. All right, minus b on 2a, that's called your axis of symmetry. So before, when I was going through with you the shape of the parabola, the minus b on 2a bit, that is actually the axis of symmetry. Do you see that? All right. So your axis of symmetry is equal to minus b on 2a. Your discriminant, which is the next word, is basically this bit here, the b squared minus 4ac. And then the last bit, which is your x, when you combine the axis of symmetry with your discriminant, what you get is you get your roots, and that's what we call the x. And in this situation, your x is going to be 2 and negative 13. So if this is your x-axis here, and negative 13 is here, and 2 is here, this parabola, okay, the quadratic, the graph representing the quadratic is called the parabola. The parabola will pass through the x-axis at negative 13 and 2, because that is where x equals, where the values of x give you a quadratic that's equal to 0. And where is the quadratic equal to 0? Yes, along the x-axis, okay, where the parabola crosses the x-axis. So in this particular case, our parabola is going to look something like that. But that's what our parabola is going to look like. Our axis of symmetry is the minus b on 2a, the minus b on 2a, and in this situation, it's going to be minus 11 on 2. All right, so it's minus 11 on 2, which is minus 5.5. And the discriminant, the b squared minus 4ac, which in this situation was the square root of 225, right? That, while it's not equal to it, will give you an indication of the distance it is from the axis of symmetry. So this is where the discriminant helps out. And the discriminant, b squared minus 4ac, is given by a little delta symbol. It's not a triangle, it's a delta symbol, which is a Greek letter, okay? And that bit there, see how it's plus minus? So from the axis of symmetry, we're adding a little bit to give us the first root, and subtracting a little bit to give us the second root. And that's basically how the formula for the quadratic equation actually works. All right. Now let me just quickly go through the discriminant bit with you a little bit more. See how the square root of b squared minus 4ac, if that is a perfect square, in other words, if you can take the square root of it and get a whole number, all right, or then what you'll have is roots that are rational. Okay, they're not going to be surds. Okay, where b squared minus 4ac, where your discriminant is positive, right, then you'll have a bit to add and subtract on either side. Where it's equal to 0, what you'll find is that it will cross the x-axis, or it won't cross the x-axis, it'll only touch the x-axis at the axis of symmetry. So the axis of symmetry plus minus 0, yep. And where the discriminant is negative, what you'll find is that because you can't find the square root of a negative number, you will find that there's no roots altogether. Okay? So that's going to be really important when we look at the next part of this topic, which is the discriminant. Okay? Thank you very much for watching.